Okay, so this is our next paper. It's January 2007. It's the completion paper, MF or N5 paper. It's paper 2, which is a calculator paper. And the first question, if you have a look at that, and then we'll go through the answers in a minute. Okay, so question 1 here. The key words are we're going to choose from, there's a choice of 7 different answers, and we're going to name the shapes. So this first one, hopefully you recognize it. Think of an ice cream cone. It's got a circular base and it goes up to a point. So the lampshade is a cone shape. This looks like some sort of a ball, perhaps a basketball. And hopefully you know that that's called a sphere. And then the top of the gatepost here, hopefully you recognize that as a pyramid, because the faces meet at a point at the top here, and that's called a pyramid. Okay, so have a look at question 2 and we'll go through the answer in a few seconds. Okay, so you can see here question 2, the speedometer indicates a speed. I've just circled, we want to know what the speed is the vehicle traveling. So if we look up here, hopefully you can see that this division is 110, this one here is 130, and in between there are 4 little divisions. So from 110 to 130 is 20, that's divided into 4, so each of the little divisions is going to be equal to 5. So in other words, this pointer reads 115. So the answer is 115. The next part of that then is on the diagram above, draw an arrow to show a speed of 73 kilometers per hour. So we're going to we're looking for 73, so there's 70. We already know that each division is equal to 5, so we know if that's 70, this is 75, so our arrow is going to be just a little bit less than the 75, so around about there for 73 kilometers per hour. Okay, so this is question 2b. So if you have a look at that and have a go at that, we'll go through the answers in a few seconds. Okay, so for this one here, we want to know the temperature in the greenhouse, and we look at the scale. This time this is 20 degrees, this is 30 degrees, and this time hopefully you can see there's 10 little divisions, so each division is going to be 1 degree, so we can see that this is 2 divisions past 20, so the answer is 22 degrees. When will the temperature, what will the temperature be when it's 7 degrees colder? So we're going to take 7 degrees away from 22, we can do a calculation like that, and that gives us an answer 15, and obviously because it's the calculator paper you can check that with your calculator, so the answer is 15. Okay, so there's question 3a and b. If you want to stop the video and have a go at that, and we'll check it in a few minutes. Okay, so for question 3a, the information we're given is that the cost of this particular job is £12 plus £1.68 per page. So that means for each page it's going to cost £1.68, and it says what's the fee for 326 pages. So there's going to be 2 parts to the cost here, £12 plus 1.68 for each page, so it's going to be 1.68 multiplied by 326 pages. So stick that into your calculator and we should get 547.68. So that's the cost for all those pages. Then we've got to also add on the £12. So we add £12 to that and we get our answer 559.68. Then the second part is how much extra. So this time the key word here is extra. Would another 100 pages have cost? So you need to remember here that the £12 is already included. That's like a deposit for each job you do. So we don't have to pay another £12 here. It's just the cost of the 100 extra pages. So we know then that each page is £1.68. So we're going to multiply that by 100. So it's 1.68 times 100 is £168. Okay, so there's question 4. If you have a look at that, we'll go through the answers in a few seconds. Okay, so for question 4, circled here, we need to choose a word. So it's going to be a probability question, and we're going to pick one of these words for each of these 3 sections. So Christmas Day falling on 1st of January. Hopefully everybody's aware that obviously that's going to be impossible, because it's always on the 25th of December. A football captain winning the toss of a coin. Again, the chances of getting a head or a tail, hopefully everyone knows, is a half for head, half for tail, and we describe that as an even chance. And question C then, snow falling in the Mourne Mountains in December. Well, it isn't certain that that's going to happen, but it's very likely. So the word that we're most likely to pick here is got to be likely. Okay, so have a look at question 5 and try it yourself, and then we'll go through the answer in a minute. Okay, question 5. The information we're given are that there's tickets numbered from 1 to 200. One is picked out at random, and we want to know the probability that the number is even. So hopefully you know that in any set of numbers, half of them are going to be even and half are going to be odd. So half the numbers are going to be even, so the probability is going to be 1/2. For the second one then, 5b, what's the probability that the number is greater than 120? So we need to find out how many numbers are greater than 120. So if we subtract 120, take it away from 200, we can find that there's 80 numbers are above 120. So the probability of picking a number greater than 120 is 80 out of 200. That gets 2 marks, or you can simplify it, and that simplifies down to 2/5. Okay, so have a look at question 6. Just try it yourself, stop the video, and we'll go through it in a few seconds. Okay, now for question 6, I've circled the key words here. The table gives the information on the ferries sailing between Northern Ireland and Scotland, going outwards and returning. And the first part says, which route has more ferries leaving for Scotland before 11 a.m. So we need to go, this is the outward route going from Northern Ireland to Scotland. So this route has got 0415, 0730 and 1030. Those are the 3 before 11 o'clock in the morning. And this route, which is Belfast to Stranraer, has only got 0315 and 0740. So in this case, this first route, Larne to Cairnryan, has got more ferries leaving before 11 a.m. Then the second part, at what time do ferries leave Stranraer after 4 o'clock in the afternoon? So again, we're going looking for the return leg here, which is Stranraer back to Belfast, and after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is 1600 hours. So the routes, the numbers are these two here, 1950 and 2359. Okay, so there's question 6, parts C and D. If you have a look at those and stop the video, we'll go through them for you. Okay, so for question 6, part C, we're given this first bit of information, which I've circled here. the sea crossing time is 1 hour 45 minutes, and we're told Janet wants to leave Belfast on the 0740 ferry and have at least 8 hours in Stranraer. What's the earliest ferry she could return from Stranraer on? So the 0740 ferry leaving Belfast, it takes 1 hour 45 minutes. So that means this ferry will arrive in Stranraer 0740 plus an hour is 0840. And then we add another 45 minutes to that. That gets us up to 0925. So it arrives in Stranraer at 0925. Now it says she wants to spend 8 hours in Stranraer. So we're going to add 8 hours onto that. So 9 plus 8 is 17. So that's 17:25. So that's the earliest time she could leave Stranraer. So what she's looking for then is the next ferry after 17:25. And when you look at this is Stranraer to Belfast. So after 17:25, the next ferry that she's able to take is 1950. So the answer there is 1950. So part D then, another girl, Rachel, plans to leave Belfast on the 0740 ferry, which is the same one, and return on the latest ferry from Stranraer. How long would she have in Stranraer? So again, it's the same information we had before. The ferry is 0740 ferry. It takes 1 hour 45 minutes. So we add those two together to find that it arrives in Stranraer at 0925. The latest ferry back from Stranraer is 23:59 according to our table. So this is back from Stranraer, the last ferry of the day, 23:59. So this time we've got to work out how long, what length of time is it from 0925 to 23:59. Probably the best way to do this that will work for any time problem you have is to go from 0925 to 10 o'clock. So that's 35 minutes. Then we're going to go from 10 o'clock, 10:00, say another 12 hours to 22:00. So that's 12 hours. And then the last little bit is 22:00 to 23:59. Which hopefully you can see is 1 hour 59 minutes. So we're going to add those three times together. I've kept the minutes on top of each other here. So that adds up to 34, and we carry 1 plus 14 hours. So the total time in Stranraer would be 14 hours and 30